I enlisted in the Army in 1965 and went to Fort Ord, California, where I went to basic training. And after that was completed, I volunteered for jump school in Fort Benning, Georgia. Believe me, every place in Fort Benning, Georgia, you ran and you ran and you ran some more. You started off in what they call a suspended agony. That's where they hang you by a parachute and you learn how to do your slips and all this kind of stuff. The second week is tower week, and they lift you up in a 250-foot tower and drop you so you get used to free falling. We piled into a C-130 and we had static lines that ran all the way on each side of the aircraft. You stand up, hook up, shuffle to the door, you jump right out and you count to 4. If your chute doesn't open wide, you have a reserve by my side. And if your reserve don't come around, watch me bounce right off the ground. These are kind of songs we sang in jump school. I had a 30-day leave, and then I went right to Vietnam. I landed in Tan Son Nhut, which is an air base in Saigon, and I was assigned to the 173rd Airborne in a reconnaissance platoon. The recon platoon, our job was to search and destroy the enemy. February of 1967 is when we made that first combat jump in Vietnam. And 700 of us made that jump on the Cambodian border. I would have been a happy camper if I would have hit the LZ on that particular jump, but for some reason they jumped us late and we missed the LZ by probably 300 or 400 yards and landed out in the jungle. Pretty scary times because the enemy was out there and there was tracers coming up the plains. But once you made it back to your lines, then you reformed in your units and went on your operation. The day of the actual jump, yeah, you're pretty hyped. You know, the anxiety starts building because you don't know what to expect. I was hit a couple different times while I was in Vietnam. The first time was on January 2nd of 1967. It was supposed to be a ceasefire because of our holiday, because of New Year's, but the enemy knew that and they mortared us. So they sent recon out to find out where the mortars came from. We ran across a small Viet Cong base camp and all hell broke loose at that point. Had a couple of grenades go off right beside me and literally picked me up off the ground. And I had shrapnel in my arm and in my flank, and to this day I still have 13 pieces of shrapnel in my chest. I thought maybe this was a wound that would send me home, but I was wrong, and they patched me up and sent me back in the field. Another firefight I was involved in is when I got a shot in the stomach, and that there just kind of blows you up inside. Of course, you're a 19-year-old kid and you don't know if you're going to survive all that. And I spent about a month in the hospital, and then they transported me to Madigan Hospital in Fort Lewis, Washington, where I ended up spending another 7 or 8 months getting through these injuries. But you know, if I had it to do all over again, I would do the same thing, even knowing what I know now, because we wouldn't have a great country like this if people didn't step up and defend this country.